Hello Libra friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my video, Libra April 2021 Astrology Must Knows. The first must know is that April is my second favorite month of the whole year, with March being my first, and that has to do with a bunch of different factors, which I'm going to get into. And we've got some very specific things to discuss for Libra as well. So not just the general transits and how they might affect you, but also some specific areas of life that are being highlighted for you and what that can bring and how you can use that energy. So I'm going to go into a lot of detail. But if you want even more detail, then I create a lot of resources for you each month. So make sure you click on the More button with the little arrow underneath the video to reveal the notes that has all the links to all of the free resources that I have for you. Okay, so you want to check those out and definitely sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. You'll see it right there. It'll say Dear Friend. It'll have a space for your name and email address. And that will get you my write-up, my power write-up, where I write all of the aspects, the dates of the aspects, the sweet and salty dates, the general write-up of the month. This is all in writing, delivered into your inbox 1 month early. And as a member of my email community, you also get my VIP 2021 Happy Scopes. Okay, so this shows the things to celebrate, the things to watch out for, and the ways to make lemonade in the case where there might be some lemons in each month for all of the rest of 2021. So if you want a sneak peek into the energies of each of the months for the rest of the year, then definitely sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. Okay, so what do we have in store? So part of why I'm so excited about April is because, and this is similar to March, is that we have more sweet aspects than salty ones. That hasn't been happening lately a lot. In 2020, it wasn't happening. It didn't happen, in January and February. March, it happened. April, it's happening. Okay, so you'll definitely feel that. When there are more sweet aspects in the sky than salty ones, it's just a general climate of ease. And there are a lot of 60-degree angles. 60-degree angles are ones that are opportunities. So there will be a lot of opportunities. I call it the ingredients on a counter aspect. So there'll be a lot of ingredients on your counter this month, and it'll be up to you to make a beautiful, yummy dish with those ingredients. So you've got to take action. So necessary actions might have to be taken this month, but you've got a lot of support for taking the action. Something else that I really love about this month, and I like this even more about April than about March, is that we don't have any personal planet retrogrades. If you're not familiar with personal planet retrogrades, Mercury, Venus, Mars, they tend to bring things inward and backward. We had a ton of personal planet retrogrades in 2021, and then the middle of January, all of February, and the first half of March. We had a ton of personal planet retrogrades in 2020, and already in 2021, the second half of January, all of February, and the first half of March was covered in it. So it's moving inward and backward, and all things that were certain being cast into uncertainty and not being able to make plans, and it's a very internal, kind of closer to home, closer to your being, not being able to extend out very far or do a bunch of stuff or have a bunch of momentum type of energy. But this month is completely different, and everything is just racing forward in an amazing way. And since we've got all of these planets in Aries, there is so much fiery zest. And for air placements like Libra, fire placements are very, very supportive and can work in beautiful hand in hand. Now, there are some other things to know about the aspect that's made with Aries and Libra, but we'll get into that. But for now, let's talk about the elemental perspective. So you'll have a lot of motivation, a lot of support, a lot of ambition, a lot of clarity. You'll be able to plan further than one step ahead, which is what we've only been able to do. A lot of action is going to take place this month, a lot of busyness, a lot of movement. That could also be physically for traveling. The long distance travel sector, the language sector, the teaching, learning, publishing sector is all going to be beautifully lit up in this time for Libra placement. So if you've got anything with immigration, or you want to get into an education program, or you want to start teaching, or you're a teacher and you need work, or anything like that, if you're trying to write a book or publish a blog or anything like that, you've got a lot of support for that now, coming from multiple different places. So that's really, really exciting and definitely something to celebrate. There's, let's see. Yes, so you've got the ambition, you've got the clarity, and you have the support in making the decisions. It is going to be very productive, and it is going to be a time for necessary action. There's an energy called, it's the beetle, basically. And so for the Libras and the Scorpios in the group, I'm really calling the beetle in to the discussion right now, because this need to take necessary action might be coming up in a big way, but this is a good month to take action. You just want to make sure that you're acting in support of yourself, not against somebody else, you know, and that's a fine line sometimes. But you want to act not from anger, but from love, or like setting a boundary out of love, not of anger. It's a dicey double-edged sword here. So, you know, just kind of be aware of your intentions when you move forward, because all the Aries planets can bring up aggression and aggravation, and decisions made from that place aren't going to have the best outcome. But they could have, like, the anger and the aggravation could, you know, shift you into an internal space where you're asking different questions, like, how did you draw this in? Why do you have this pattern? You know, why does this keep coming up? And, you know, then it can cause some really, really radical changes of your matrix, and you can crack out of your matrix. But if you start seeing beetles, this will be your confirmation that you might have to take some necessary action. And this is, Ted Andrews talks about the beetle being associated with taking necessary action. I love to bring everything back to our animal spirit friends. But something that's inherent in the beetle time is that if you take an action, you'll know within a short amount of time if you took the right action, or if you need to correct it and do something else or take a different course. So just kind of take your action, be on the lookout, and be prepared to adjust as necessary. Okay, so with all of the planets moving through Aries, which is going to be really strong for the first half of the month and then start to fizzle out as the second half of April goes on, this is going to really, really bring attention, and actually all month, because once the planets get into Taurus, the story is going to be the same. Your partnership sectors are super highlighted at this time of year, okay? So finding a new relationship, very strong chance of that. Healing your previous relationship, very strong chance of that. Your relationship being tested and possibly breaking up, very strong chance of that. You know, anything having to do with big decisions around relationships, big endings, big beginnings, things like that are really coming into the forefront. Also, not just your romantic relationships. This is your relationship with clients. You're very likely to be very busy if you're a person that deals with clients. You'll probably have a lot of clients right now. If you're trying to expand your business, it looks like the clients really want to come in. You could, you know, really be having some notable progress going on in that sector. Also, delegating and getting help and partnering with people it's a very, very big time for Libras to do that. So if you need a plumber, you know, if you need something done. Oh, and by the way, this month is one of my favorite months of the whole year for engagements, weddings, buying a house, selling a house, buying anything of importance, buying an air conditioner, you know, getting a new fence, getting a new car, getting a new device. This month is great for all of that. And also paying an expert for something that will really support you can go very far right now. You might really make some very powerful partnerships, either through a practitioner helping you or through, you know, just anything that you need help with and that you delegate. It would be good for you to make a list of the things that you really need to do that only you can do, and then a separate list of things that maybe somebody else could do for you that you'd be open to that, because that's going to go very far now. And you might meet some people that you'll be friends with or connected with for your whole life, and that can really, really take pressure off of you so that you can do what you really need to do and let them take care of some of these other things, okay? So that's very prominent for Libras. Also, your health might need some attention, and your daily regimen and your diagnostics. This is a fantastic time for getting clarity about diagnostics. In general, this is a time of restored, you know, direction and ambition, and being able to see what's going to be coming and make some plans for the future and action. Some people will be traveling, you know, if your circumstances allow it with COVID and whatever's going on. A lot of people, travel is going to start opening up for a lot of people. Like I said, immigration things. For many people, optimism. Now, just one thing to be aware of is with the opposition of Aries to Libra, oppositions are points of tension. But sometimes from that points of tension, like I always imagine juggling. If you've ever juggled, I'm not a professional juggler myself, but I have had times where I was able to like physically juggle things, and it's really fun. You know, when you get the balls up in the air now figuratively, I always have a ton of balls up in the air, so I'm juggling all the time. And you might be in that same position. And if that is so, when you have oppositions, you're going to be able to have a lot more balls up in the air. Because you're going to have to, because there's going to be so many things going on in your me versus we sector. Your needs versus other people's needs, your expectations versus other people's expectations, you know, your relationships, codependency, healing, anything like that is always a topic for Libra, right? Because Libra is all about relationships, which of course brings the counterbalance of the Aries, which is the self. But it's really strongly highlighted at this time and brought front and center. We are still in this beautiful long-term experience of having Saturn and Jupiter move through air signs, Aquarius. And that means that's amazing for you because you've got the support of Saturn, the taskmaster, who wants to manifest your dreams into reality, on your side, working in a beautiful angle for you, making all of your actions go further and building towards permanent security and more gains. And you've got Jupiter giving you inspiration, giving you hope, giving you direction, giving you support through community, you know, expanding your vision, expanding your creativity. Creativity is coming front and center for Libras at this time. You know, if you want to get into acting, fashion, leadership of any role, you know, anything that puts you out in front of people, singing, athleticism. There's a lot of support for that right now. And in particular for Libras, there's this energy, a long-term energy of finding hidden talents. So it's really, really fun when this area of your chart is being accentuated, because the chance for you to find something that you're really good at that you had no idea, you know, can happen. But that's only going to happen from you trying different things. So this is a really good time for you to get your fingers in a lot of pudding pies, as I like to call it, where you like take a class on something, you try something out, and you might find that certain hobby, you might get some new hobbies, and certain hobbies you might be able to develop or turn into professional pursuits. This is also an amazing time for your bucket list, crossing some things off that you've always wanted to do. Some of that could happen this month. It's very, very exciting. So those are definitely things to celebrate. Some other good news is in the form of the eclipse rumblings. Now, while eclipses do tend to bring some tension and anxiety, and sometimes they can bring some things that we don't want, but this eclipse cycle, the Sagittarius-Gemini eclipse cycle, is in general very friendly towards Libra placements because those placements are making nice angles for you. And we will talk more in more detail in the May and June reports about where each of those May and June eclipses are going to be hitting for you specifically. But for now, I just wanted to mention it because 4 to 6 weeks before the actual eclipse, the first one being May 26th, so 4 to 6 weeks is in April, basically, you'll start to see the themes and the storylines coming up. And so the middle of 2020, then the end of 2020, very beginning of 2021, and then now again are these hot spots for the eclipses. Then we'll have them again at the end of this year, and then that will be the end of the Gemini Sagittarius eclipse cycle. But during this time, you know, how we learn, how we teach, our education systems are being revamped. And this is true for the globe, for every individual. But there's a very personal nature of this for Libras, okay? And this is, you know, quite a complementary placement, unless you have something in your chart that's antagonistic against this. For Libra placements, just those placements of your chart, your Libra ones, this is super supportive. So, you know, you might find your perfect school program, you might launch into your teaching career, you might get work teaching, you know, again, international things really coming up, and international, like, so if you're teaching online, you might be connecting with people internationally, or actually get a position in a different country, or something like that. It has very much to do with how we share, how we take in and put out information, and also how we relate to people of different cultures and in different countries. And so, you know, it's just it's a very expansive, exciting time when some surprises, exotic surprises, could come in and flavor your world in a wonderful way. And it could even be something as simple as learning a language online if you can't get somewhere. And then like I love languages. I'm a Sag, and I love languages. And I actually have a bachelor's degree in Spanish, and I was fluent in Spanish at the time I graduated. And I'm in the process of getting my fluency in Spanish back. And I'm in an online community for this. And they have cooking classes. They have yoga in Espanol. We've got, you know, we made tamales. It's like super fun. So I'm here at home, you know, still with a lot of COVID lockdown, but that energy of different cultures and languages coming in a big way. And those type of things are really, really pronounced for Libra placements right now as well. So just be looking for things like that, ways that you can connect either actually in person, actually with travel, or through online to expand your horizons. This is a huge time of horizon expansion for Libras. And this might also have to do with your mind-blowing experiences. Having something happen that makes you see things a completely different way, and that completely different way is more expansive. So in that way, it's a really nice time for like burning off karma from something that you believed. And because we're bound by our beliefs. If we believe something, whether it's conscious, we're aware of it, or whether it's unconscious. We have ancestral beliefs. We have unconscious things that have come through our DNA that we don't even know that they're there. But we know they're there from the manifestations that happen in our world, because in our experience, because we live in a holographic reality. So everything outside is inside. Everything inside is outside. So, you know, you draw to yourself things that you believe. So you're having evidence of your belief systems in your daily experience. And the more you can become a super sleuth, you know, a major detective about how the things going on around you are showing you what your belief systems are, and then changing those belief systems, you can just like crack out of you know, limitation and restriction in really amazing ways. It's a really big time for Libras to crack out of limitations. I know I've given you a lot of information, but if you would like even more information on what's going on in the stars and what you can expect, then definitely utilize all of my free resources. You can click under this video on the More button with the little arrow, and it will reveal all of these links that take you to all of these different resources that I have. You'll definitely want to go to anniehelpsyou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter. It's positioned right there on the front page. It'll say Dear Friend, and it'll have a space for your name and email address, and you'll get my sweet and salty list, including a detailed write-up of the month 1 month early delivered into your inbox, plus other goodies. You'll also get access to my 2021 Happy Scopes, which gives you an overview of each month of 2021. So you get a super sneak peek into all of the months ahead for 2021, and what to celebrate, what to watch out for, and how you can make lemonade in situations where there are some lemons. You can also get my Shine, my 28-day virtual coaching program, for free when you sign up for my free email newsletter. So I give lots of goodies to my email community, and you can become a part of that by going to anniehelpsyou.com and signing up there. If you want written horoscopes 1 month early, written by me, and then also other lifestyle blogs, then you can go to cozybysweetstarlight.com and check out all the goodies there. It's a beautiful, beautiful site. It's worth a peek just to check out how pretty it is. And there's lots of great information for your astrology-kissed life. If you want to have some free courses, you can go to my school, Luminous Life Multiversity, at lumelife.com, L-U-M-E. life.com. You can see my free courses there, including Unleash Your Money Magnet if you're trying to work on manifesting more money. And you can also see my paid courses there, including my crazy in-depth Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course that will prepare you to do whatever you'd like to do with astrology, whether it's for your own self-development, helping your family and friends, or actually doing astrology as all or part of your profession. Also, check out my new book, Planetology, How to Align with the Natural Rhythms of the Universe, which you can find anywhere and everywhere. It's actually in the physical locations of every Barnes & Noble and Books A Million in the United States, and in many stores abroad, and everywhere online. And you can also see my other book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life in the World in 28 Days. And you can find that anywhere online as well. So I hope you have a wonderful month. Make sure you look at all the resources underneath the video, click the More button, and I'll see you next month. Bye.